They say humanity is gone. Not defeated. Not surrendered. Erased. The last war scorched 100 worlds and broke 1,000 more. When the ash settled, every record agreed on one thing. Humanity, extinct. Threat level, resolved. Except, the records were wrong. On the edge of a dead battlefield, in a rusted bunker no one remembers, one cryopod hisses open. Inside is a single soldier who still thinks the war is happening. His name is Rylan Voss. Vanguard Corps. Earthborn. The last human the galaxy believes exists. He walks out into a universe that hates his species, finds only ruins, grieving survivors, and enemies who don't know the fighting's over. So he makes a promise. If you're still alive, he says, you're under my protection. I don't care what you are. I don't care what you did. You don't die on my watch. And what Rylan doesn't know, what no one will tell him, is that somewhere, far beneath a shielded star cluster, billions of human hearts are still beating, waiting, because the galaxy didn't wipe humanity out. It hid humanity away. For him. The first thing Rylan hears is the hiss of thawing seals. The second is silence. No alarms. No gunfire. No shouted orders in his calm. He forces his eyes open. Frost cracks on his eyelashes. Dim emergency lights paint the cryochamber in soft red and gold. Rows of pods line the walls, most shattered, others dark and dust-choked. Vanguard, report. He croaks, slapping his helmet comm static answers. He steadies himself, boots clanking on the metal floor. His armor is old but functional, matte black with the faded emblem of Earth's defenders. He checks his rifle. Charged. Familiar weight. The bunker hatch groans as he forces it open. Outside is a graveyard. A vast battlefield stretches beyond the hill. Burned-out tanks, shattered mechs, twisted starfighter wrecks half buried in ash. The sky is a pale, washed-out blue, too quiet, too clean. Command, this is Commander Rylan Voss, he says. Awakened from Cryo Delta. Requesting status. Anyone copy? Nothing. A faint wind moves through scorched grass and bleached bones. Rylan clenches his jaw. Okay, he mutters. Plan B. He slings his rifle and starts walking through the ghosts, the last human soldier searching for a war that already ended without him. He finds the first terminal in the ruins of what used to be a forward command post. The structure is mostly collapsed, metal bones jutting from the ground like ribs. Inside, dust coats dead consoles. Rylan wipes a gloved hand across a screen and hotwires power from his armor pack. The display flickers to life. Galactic Strategic Archive. Status. War concluded. Primary belligerents. Multi-species coalition versus humanity. He frowns. Concluded how? Pages of casualty reports scroll past. Planets burned. Fleets lost. Alliances shattered. And then a line that hits like a bullet. Species, humanity. Status, extinct. Last confirmed life sign. Vanguard Cryo Facility, unknown. He stares. Extinct, he repeats, quietly. Yeah, sure. Someone forgot to tell me. He searches deeper. Refugee logs, reconstruction plans, occupation zones. Every entry bears the same assumption. Humans are gone. No evacuation routes. No safe havens. Just extermination. He leans back, exhaling slowly. Everyone's gone, he murmurs. Mom. Dad. My unit. Earth. His hand tightens on the console. No. He corrects himself, voice hardening. If I'm still here, the fight isn't done. Somebody's alive. Somebody's suffering. The war doesn't end just because the shooting stops. He powers down the terminal, turns toward the ravaged horizon. If I'm the last one, he says to the empty air, I'll make it count. Days later, he hears the first scream. It cuts through the quiet like a flare. High. Terrified. Not human, but close enough that his instincts spike. Rylan sprints over a ridge and slides down loose gravel toward a half-collapsed village of white stone and glass. The buildings are cracked, blasted, but not fully destroyed. Someone tried to rebuild. At the center, 3 raiders in scavenged armor circle a small figure with lavender skin and wide, black eyes. A Zairian child. Enemy species, his memory supplies. Former enemy. Hand over the rations, runt. One raider snarls. The kid clutches a metal box to their chest, shaking. Rylan doesn't think. Training and grief move his limbs. He steps out into the open, rifle raised. 3 targets, he says calmly. 1 chance to walk away. The raiders spin, weapons half lifted, then freeze when they see his armor, his insignia. Human, one whispers, horrified. That's impossible. Extinction's been exaggerated, Rylan replies. Last warning. They open fire. He's faster. 3 shots, precise and clean. 3 bodies hit the dirt, their weapons skittering away. The child flinches, staring at him like he's a monster. Rylan lowers his rifle slowly. Hey, he says softer. You okay? The kid trembles. You're human. Guilty. He kneels, removing his helmet. Name's Rylan. I don't hurt children. Ever. You're safe now. They don't believe him. But they don't run, either. It's a start. The village is mostly intact up close. Cracked domes patched with metal plates. Makeshift solar arrays. Irrigation tubes run along the ground, carrying thin streams of water to struggling crops. Signs of life, stubborn and fragile. Rylan walks in with the child at his side, hands clearly away from his weapons. The reaction is instantaneous. Zairian adults rush forward, forming a living barrier. Their skin glows faintly along the cheek ridges, a natural bioluminescence. Their eyes fix on his armor, his face. Get away from them, one shouts, pulling the child behind her. Human. The word is a curse, spat like something poisonous. Rylan stops, raising both hands. I'm not here to hurt anyone. You destroyed our sons, another screams. You brought the purge. Rylan takes the hit. He remembers orbital bombardments, human fleets, desperate last stands. We all did things in that war, he says quietly. An elder steps forward, cane tapping the ground. Why are you here, human? I woke up, Rylan answers simply. Found a galaxy full of graves. Then raiders tried to kill your kid. I stopped them. That's it. Silence. Distrust thick as smoke. The child peeks around the elder's robes. He saved me, they whisper. The elder studies Rylan for a long moment. Why, they ask. Because they were alive, Rylan says. That's reason enough. The villagers don't welcome him. But they don't attack, either. Leave when the sun sets, the elder says. You're not wanted here. Rylan nods. Fair. He knows how to operate where he's not wanted. He should leave. It would be easy. Vanish into the hills, find another ruin, stay away from people who look at him like a nightmare given shape. Instead, he stays just long enough to fix 3 broken water purifiers, calibrate their shield generator, and build makeshift gun turrets from scrap. When the elder finds him tightening a bolt on the last turret, they scowl. I told you to leave, human. I am, Rylan says. Just don't like leaving people undefended. This village wanted nothing from your kind. Your kind wanted nothing from mine, he replies. War didn't ask either of us. They stare at each other. The raiders will come back, the elder says. Now that they've tasted our supplies. I figured. Rylan stands, wiping grease from his gloves. So I'm leaving you a present. These will auto-track hostiles. Set your people behind cover if they come again. The child from before approaches quietly. Well, will you be here? They ask. Rylan hesitates. He sees fear in their eyes, but also something else, a fragile spark of hope. He drops to one knee. Listen, he says. I don't know how long I'll last out here, but I'll say this once. He looks at the elder, then the villagers. If you're still breathing, Rylan says, voice steady, you're under my protection. You don't have to like me. You don't have to forgive humans. But I'll bleed for you. Any of you. The elder's jaw tightens. Why make such a promise? Because no one made it for us, he answers. And just like that, the promise is real. Word travels faster than ships. On a mining moon half a system away, a group of Terralin workers huddle in a dim break room, talking in low voices. They say a human killed a raider band on Vesh 12, one mutters. Alone. Impossible, another scoffs. Humans are dead. Then who reprogrammed the turrets? Who rerouted the power grid? The Zairians swear it was a human soldier in old Vanguard armor. Elsewhere, on a trading outpost, a black market broker hands over a data chip. Latest rumor, she says. A lone human escorting refugee convoys. If you see him, don't shoot first. He doesn't miss. The stories twist with every retelling. A vengeful ghost. A war criminal hunting raiders. A guardian who appears when things are at their worst. Rylan has no idea any of this is happening. He just moves from system to system, fixing shields, driving off pirates, patching wounds. He sleeps in wrecks and abandoned bunkers, eats whatever he can trade for, and tries not to think about Earth. Every time someone asks who he is, he gives the same answer. Just a soldier, he says, doing cleanup. But the galaxy, hungry for myths in the ruins, starts calling him something else. The last human. On the storm-racked world of Haysker, Rylan finds an entire town about to be crushed. Acid rain lashes down on the domes, hissing against failing shields. Inside, Haskori, towering, scaled beings who once fought humans tooth and claw, scramble to patch glowing cracks with their bare hands. Rylan drops from a shuttle, slamming into the mud outside the main dome. He connects his armor power core to the shield emitters, overrides their failsafes, and shunts his own reserves into the failing grid. Blue light flares. The shield stabilizes. Inside, Haskori citizens stare at the human on the other side of the barrier. The governor opens a channel. "Why are you helping us, human?" he rumbles. "Your kind tried to burn our jungles." "Yeah," Rylan says, voice crackling over the calm. "And your kind tried to drop an asteroid on our oceans. Both sides were idiots. War's over. People still need saving." He grits his teeth as his power reserves drain. "You got evac ships?" A pause. We can launch 3. "Do it. I'll hold this as long as I can." "You'll die?" Rylan snorts. "Probably. Get your people out anyway." There's a long silence. Then, "We will speak again, human. If you live. Count on it," Rylan says, as the acid burns brighter against the shield and his armor's warning lights flare red. He doesn't die on Haysker, but it's close. When the last evac ship clears the atmosphere, the shield finally collapses. Rylan staggers into his shuttle, armor systems fried, skin blistered beneath the plates. He slams the hatch, gasping as neutralizing foam floods the airlock. He wakes hours later to the hum of autopilot and the soft glow of medgel patches on his arms and neck. The ship's AI, an old, clipped voice from the Vanguard days, speaks into his helmet. "You exceeded safe exposure thresholds by a factor of 3, Commander." "Add it to the list," he mutters. "You cannot continue like this indefinitely." "I know. Yet you persist." He stares at the viewport, watching stars slide past. "Everyone I loved is gone," he says. "Everything we built. I can't fix that. But I can fix a broken shield. I can shoot a raider. I can get one kid off a burning planet." "You are one man," the AI says. "Yeah." Rylan's lips twist. "Tell that to the raiders." He leans back, closing his eyes. The promise weighs on him. Every life he saves feels like a payment toward a debt no one asked him to pay. He can't stop, because if he stops, he has to feel how alone he really is. Not everyone is happy the last human is still breathing. In a gleaming orbital citadel, the Provisional Galactic Council convenes. Representatives of many species sit in a ring, holographic displays floating between them. The rumors are confirmed, a counselor says. A human operative is active in the outer sectors. A relic, another scoffs. Let him waste away in the fringe. Relics inspire, a third counters. He wears the armor of the enemy, who almost took everything from us. Refugees call him guardian. That makes him dangerous. Beside them, a scarred admiral folds her arms. Haskori, battle-hardened. "Our scout ships confirm," she says. "He prevented the fall of Haysker City. Without him, acid storms would have killed millions." "And you're grateful?" a counselor asks, incredulous. "I am conflicted," she admits. "Conflicted is unacceptable," the chairperson snaps. "The narrative is fragile. We cannot allow the last human to become a hero." Quietly, orders are signed. A covert unit is formed. Objective: locate, contain, or eliminate Rylan Voss. For the sake of stability. Rylan finds the assassin on a derelict station. To be fair, the assassin finds him first. A flash of motion in a corridor. A glint of a blade. Rylan twists, the knife scraping across his armor instead of his throat. He slams the attacker into a wall, pinning a wiry, four-eyed Ketheri operative by the chest. "Let me guess," Rylan says. "Bounty? Political favor? Old-fashioned hatred." The assassin bares their fangs. "You shouldn't exist." "Be more specific," Rylan says dryly. "They said you'd come here," the Ketheri hisses. "If we didn't erase you, the past would never die." Rylan studies their face. They're young, desperate, scared. "Kill me," the assassin growls. "Do what humans do." Rylan loosens his grip instead. "Here's the problem," he says. "You're standing between me and the people I protect. But you're also a person. He steps back, lowers his weapon. Walk away. The Kethri stares. You're sparing me? You didn't pull the trigger on my world, Rylan says. We were all following orders. Go home. Or don't. Just stop being someone else's weapon. The assassin falters. Why, they ask. Because somebody has to stop the cycle, Rylan says. Might as well start with us. The order to kill him doesn't vanish. But a crack appears. Eventually, he stops traveling alone. Not on purpose. It starts with the Zairian child, now older, catching up to him on a cargo station. You promised, they say, hands on hips. Rylan arches a brow. Promised what? To protect us. Us includes you. Next comes a Haskori engineer whose world he saved. Then a Terralin medic who owes him a life debt. Then the Kethri assassin, who shows up again with no explanation and a suspiciously helpful attitude. They bring their own skills, their own scars, their own opinions about humanity. Around a small freighter's worn galley table, they argue, eat, patch each other up. One night, as the stars drift quietly outside, the Zairian, Tali, now asks, do you ever miss them? Who? Rylan asks, though he knows. Your people. He stares at his cup. Every second, he says softly. Every time I hear laughter and know it's not human. Every time I fix something and think, Dad would have done it faster. Tali nods, eyes shining. I miss people I never met, they admit. The humans we only saw from gun sights. Rylan gives a humorless smile. We weren't at our best then. Maybe you are now, Tali says. He doesn't believe that. But looking around the table at the unlikely crew, he feels something he hasn't felt in a long time. Less alone. The warning comes too late. On the edge of an uninhabited system, Rylan's freighter drops out of FTL and straight into an ambush. Sleek black ships materialize from the dark, weapons hot. Unmarked hulls, the Haskori engineer rumbles. But their drive signatures scream military. Rylan's jaw tightens. Council dogs. The comm crackles. Vessel, power down and prepare to be boarded. We're here for the human. Tali looks at him. We can run. We can try, Rylan says. But they'll follow. And next time it'll be near a refugee convoy. He straps into the pilot chair. No. We end this now. The Kethri assassin grins sharply. Now you sound like the old stories. I'm trying very hard not to, Rylan mutters. They fight. Not like the old war, planetary bombardments and fleet actions, but a desperate, close-quarters dance. Rylan uses every trick he remembers, every maneuver that once broke enemy lines. His crew amplifies him. Haskori rerouting power, Terralin patching shields, Tali making impossible sensor calls, the Kethri jumping between turrets like a ghost. They win. Barely. But as the last black ship erupts in fire, Rylan's console blares a different alarm. Unknown. It's unmistakably human. Smooth composite hull. Familiar drive flare. The emblem on its side, bright, unweathered, shows the Earth Union crest, crisp and unscarred. Rylan's heart stops. That's impossible, he whispers. His crew watches the view screen, silent. The newcomer hails them. A face appears on the hollow. A woman, late 50s, dark skin, sharp eyes that study him like a problem she already solved. Commander Rylan Voss, she says. You're a hard man to follow without being noticed. He swallows. Who are you? Admiral Sarah Ianda, she replies. Acting Fleet Commander, Human Preservation Initiative. Preservation, he repeats. You're human. She smiles faintly. Very. Emotions slam through him. Hope, anger, disbelief. That's not possible, he says again, quieter. We lost. We died. Not all of us, Sarah says. We made sure of that. And we made sure you stayed alive long enough to hear the rest. Tali whispers, Rylan. He takes a step toward the hollow, as though he could reach through. You're telling me, he says, voice rough, that my entire species has been alive this whole time? Sarah's expression softens. Yes, she says. Because of you. And just like that, his world breaks open again. They meet aboard the human ship. Rylan steps into bright, familiar corridors that smell like home. Recycled air and engine ozone and antiseptic. Human voices echo down the hall. The sound nearly drops him to his knees. Sarah walks beside him. At the end of the war, we were losing, she says. Outnumbered. Outgunned. Every prediction said humanity was finished. I noticed, Rylan mutters. Then we discovered something, she continues. Our presence in the galaxy was destabilizing more than politics. Old precursor tech woke up. Weapons that measured potential. And according to those things, you were the focal point. He stops. Me? You, Rylan Voss. Your combat record. Your choices. Your ability to unite broken units, adapt on the fly, survive impossible odds. Some quantum relic keyed on that pattern. He shakes his head. That's ridiculous. Maybe, she says. But the precursors saw you as an anchor. As long as you lived, the galaxy stayed in a certain range of survivable futures. If you died, it tipped into cascade failure. Apocalypse. Worse, she says quietly. Extinction events spread across the board. Not just us. Everyone. He laughs once, incredulous. So your solution was what? Fake my species' death. They argue. Of course they do. Rylan stands in a quiet observation deck, watching the hidden fleet. Enormous Orcs, each holding millions of humans in cold sleep. The sight is overwhelming, like walking into a mausoleum and finding everyone breathing. Sarah joins him, hands clasped behind her back. You should have told me, he says. How, she asks. If the council knew we survived in force, you think they wouldn't have finished the job? I could have helped you, he snaps. We could have rebuilt together. You did help us, she says. Every day, you showed the galaxy a different kind of human. Not the aggressor. The guardian. The last human soldier spending his blood on people who hated him. Do you know what that did to their resolve? He glares at her. We used you, she says plainly. I won't sugarcoat it. But we also trusted you. There's no version of this plan that works if you turn bitter and start hunting your enemies. He thinks of Tali, of Hasker, of every child he pulled from rubble, every raider he put down. So what now, he asks. You wake everyone up? Announce we're back. Not yet, she says. We're close. Factions are softening. Old grudges fading. You accelerated that. But if we return wrong, too fast, too hard, the war starts again. He laughs quietly. So the last human soldier isn't actually last. They offer him a choice. It's not framed that way, but Rylan hears it. In a briefing room filled with human officers and projections of galactic maps, Sarah outlines the situation. We can begin phased reintroduction, she says. Start with outer systems, scientific aid, disaster relief. Show we're no longer a threat. We were never just a threat, Rylan mutters. Tell that to the worlds we cracked, someone says. Rylan doesn't argue. They're not wrong. Option 2, Sarah continues, we stay hidden longer. Let the galaxy heal. Let you keep doing what you've been doing. Being your mascot, he says. Being our ambassador, she corrects. He looks around the table. What do you want from me? Your decision, Sarah says. You've seen the galaxy as it is now more than any of us. You've walked its ruins, protected its survivors. If we come back, is it ready? Are we? His crew sits at the back of the room. Tali, the Haskori, the Ketheri, the Terralin. Not human. Very much his. He meets their eyes. What do you think, he asks them. Tali swallows. I think, if there are more like you, they deserve a chance. The Haskori nods. We owe your kind both blood and thanks. Perhaps it is time to tally both. Rylan exhales slowly. He never asked to be the last human. He certainly never asked to be the first of their return. But here he is. Okay, he says. Then we do this. Carefully. Honestly. No more lies if we can help it. He looks at Sarah. If humanity comes back, he says, we're coming back as protectors, not conquerors. Agreed, she says. And something massive shifts in the room, like a future clicking into place. The first reveal isn't dramatic. It's a distress call. A moonquake on a small Ketheri colony. Mining shafts collapsing. Local infrastructure failing. The new council can't respond fast enough. Rylan's old freighter arrives first. His crew moves with practiced efficiency. Rescue lines, field hospitals, stabilizing beams. Only this time, they're not alone. 3 human medical ships drop out of FTL around the moon, bearing no war markings. Just a simple symbol, a stylized open hand. Ketheri officials stare as humans stride off the ramps. Doctors, engineers, relief workers. No guns drawn. You're human, one stammers. Last I checked, a doctor says. Now where are you injured? Word spreads. Humans at disaster zones. Humans rebuilding cracked bridges and stabilizing reactors. Humans standing between pirates and refugees. Not fleets, Not armies. Helpers. Rylan stands on a ridge overlooking the rescue efforts. Armor dusty, heart full. Tali joins him. Feels weird, they say. Seeing more of you. Feels weird seeing less of me. He jokes. They bump shoulders. You think they'll forgive you? Tali asks. Doesn't matter, he says. We don't fix the past. We build something better on top of it. Down below, a Kethari child tugs at a human medic's sleeve and laughs at something they say. That sound is better than any victory cheer. Not everyone celebrates humanity's return. In shadowed chambers, hardliners seethe. They're back, one snarls. We should have finished the job. They're exploiting weakness, another insists. Soft power. Charity as invasion. An attempt is made. A coalition of Old War loyalists seizes a council station, broadcasting accusations. Humans have returned to finish what they started. Rylan's there when it happens, attending a summit. Armed extremists storm the halls. Blasters fire. Panic erupts. He could fight alone. He doesn't. The Haskori engineer steps in front of a shot, shield braced. Tali hacks doors and locks attackers out of civilian sections. The Kethari assassin moves like a shadow, disarming without killing. Human security forces work side by side with alien peacekeepers. The battle is short and decisive. Afterward, as medics tend to wounded of every species, the council chair steps before the cameras. In the old war, she says, a human in that armor would have been our executioner. Today he and his allies saved all of us. She nods toward Rylan, standing dusty and tired beside his mixed crew. We cannot change what was done, she says. But we can decide what we become now. The coup fails. The story of humanity shifts again. Years pass. Not centuries. Not millennia. Just enough time for scars to heal into recognizable shapes. Humanity returns in waves. Carefully chosen, deliberately gentle. Teachers, builders, mediators. There are still mistrusts, still old wounds, still stories whispered in back rooms. But there are also new stories. On a rebuilt world that once burned in the war, a memorial stands, not a statue of a leader, but of a simple armored figure kneeling to shield a child. Rylan hates it. Too tall, he grumbles. And my nose isn't that big. Tali laughs. You'll live. They walk through a park where human and alien kids chase each other around trees grown from both worlds. Overhead, the sky is clear. Remember when you thought you were the last? Tali asks. He looks around, at markets filled with mixed species, at patrols of multi-world peacekeepers, at a human engineer arguing happily with a Zairian over circuit design. I was wrong about a lot of things, he says. Like what? Like thinking I was alone, he replies. He stops at a plaque beneath the statue, reads the inscription quietly. To those who protected us even when we could not love them back. His throat tightens. I made a promise, he says. You kept it, Tali answers. Rylan stands on a balcony above a starport, watching ships rise and fall on columns of gentle light. Some are human. Most aren't. Doesn't matter. Sarah joins him, older now, hair grayer but eyes still sharp. How's retirement treating you? She asks. He snorts. This is retirement. You're not single-handedly holding shields against acid storms anymore, she points out. Only because the kids are faster now, he says. Below them, a training yard is visible. Young soldiers, human and alien, spar together in mixed units. No enemy insignias. Just a shared crest of the new cooperative fleet. Do they know, he asks. About the anchor thing? Not the details, she says. Just that one stubborn idiot carried the weight until we could all lift it together. He watches a human cadet help a Haskori trainee up after a fall, both laughing. I was never the last human, he says. Not really. No, Sarah agrees. You were the first of what we had to become. He turns away from the view, looking instead at the people around him. War wiped out the humans we were, Rylan says quietly. But not the ones we could be. Tali appears at his side, grinning. Come on, old man. There's a village on Vesh 12 dedicating a new generator. They asked for you. Still under my protection? He asks. Always, they say. He smiles. Then, Rylan Voss says, let's go keep that promise. And for the first time in a very long time, the last human soldier doesn't feel like an ending at all. He feels like a beginning.